Okay, we're on.
Good on you. Bill Kendall, good morning.
Good morning, Aaron.
Nice to meet you again.
Thank you.
Tell me, Bill, for how many years are you coming to Nielsen Park every day for a swim? Tell me.
Well, I haven't. I first came here when I was about 10 years old, 73 years ago, and but I only came now and again then. But I've been coming every day for about the last 20 years.
Thank you. And how young have you been as an Olympian in the 1936 Olympic Games in Berlin?
I was 20 then.
And that's quite a while ago, isn't it?
Yes, sure.
Traveling to Europe at this time by ship, how long did you travel from Australia to Berlin?
Well, it usually took. There were no planes in those days. It was all by ship, and it usually took 3 to 4 weeks. But I was longer because my father used to be my coach, and he had to come through America, so we took longer getting there.
In 1936, how big was the team of Australian Olympians who went to Berlin?
There were only about 40 or 42. Very small team. You must remember that was not long after the Depression, and there was very little money available for sport in those days. Most of the funds came from sporting clubs that helped.
Yes. Do you have still contact to other members?
You're on.
Bill, tell me, do you have still contact to other members of the 1936 team, and how many of them are left?
There would be about 3 left, I think. There were about 3 swimmers at the Olympic Games. There was 1 girl and 2 other, and myself and 2 other men.
What did you achieve in Berlin? What discipline did you swim?
Well, I swam in the 100 meters, but I was not really that good. I got into the semi-finals of the 100 meters, but I wasn't really that good.
That's for us just good enough, Bill. How do you remember the Olympic Games in Berlin?
Oh, I enjoyed them very much. They were the first games that were done on a very big scale, really. Prior to that, the Olympics had been very simple sporting events, and they weren't done on a grand scale. They were, the games before the Berlin Olympics was known as the friendly games.
Bill, tell me, what do you remember from the Nazis' involvement in the Olympic Games in Berlin?
Well, Berlin was a beautiful city at that time. I haven't been back there since. I've been to other parts of Germany. But it was a beautiful city, and the citizens made the Olympic visitors very welcome. But it was the first Olympic Games that was done on a grand scale, and it had a political overtone about it that beyond the sports. The sports were well presented, and the athletes had every opportunity. It was very good in that way. But there was a political overtone. Normally an Olympic Games is granted to a city, not a nation. And I remember seeing a picture of the mayor of Berlin, but we never really saw him. But we saw a big group of Hitler's regime. In fact, our Australian team was received in the Olympic Village by Field Marshal Hermann Goering.
I see.
And other teams were received by other members of the regime, Dr. Goebbels and so on, but not so much the mayor.
But you still have nice memories
Yes.
from Berlin?
Oh, very good, yes. They were an excellent games from the competitors' point of view. The one disappointing thing was that at that time Hitler had a program about the superiority of the Aryan race, and it led to him really not receiving the African American athletes.
Yes, thank you, Bill. generally seen, do you think the Olympic Games are too commercialized?
Well, they are very commercialized now, but the world has changed a lot since 1936. And with television and worldwide audiences, there's undoubtedly got more money got into it. And that has made it difficult for the administration to keep hold of the way the Olympic movement has moved.
That's right. What are you doing, Bill, while the 2000 Olympic Games are on? Did you order any tickets?
Yes, I have got some tickets ordered, but I'm not very good at my age now in big crowds, and I think I'll watch most of it on TV.
You're allowed to do so. And if you could change the Olympic Games, in what way would you do so?
Well, I think the administration wants to try and it's the administration that has got so huge. There's a huge committee on the IOC now. I think it's just got out of hand and unable to be controlled. And I think there are in making the games bigger, there are sports in there now that don't really belong there because they have their own world ratings. Soccer is one, they have their own World Cup. Tennis, they have Grand Slam tournaments, and there are some, they have their own ratings, world ratings.
Thank you very much, Bill. And now I want to shake hands with you and come into the camera if I'm allowed to.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Owen.
Even the hand is pretty cold, but I'm sure Bill Kendall's heart is pretty warm. Thank you very much, and keep swimming.
Thank you, Owen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stay there for me. Erwin, come on. Stu, just get there. Just keep talking now, as if you're having a chat.
Yeah. Like this?
Yep. No, you come back a bit. I just want...
Yeah.
That's it.
All of Bill?
Yep.
Yeah, Bill, it was very nice to talk to you.
Thank you.
And I hope you don't hate me because you stay here only...
Hey.
If you're ready, I talk into you slowly.
Ready?
The light. Oh, sorry, are you running? Yes, that's good. An einem kühlen Morgen sind wir hier in Sydney am Nielsen Park. Und das Wasser hat eine Temperatur heute von 16 Grad und die Luft nicht mehr als 11 Grad. Das hält aber unseren Schwimmer im Beach nicht davon ab, seine täglichen Runden zu drehen. Und sobald er aus dem Wasser rauskommt, werden wir ihm einige Fragen stellen. And then we wait and
We'll sit down maybe on the bench, or,
there it's not maybe on the
Yeah.
bench.
or even maybe just here on the and get the beach.
Good.